my net worth going into the program, which was basically about $538,000. And then as of February, my net worth is about $781,000. So that's a net worth increase of about $245,000 in 20 months.
Okay, Bridget, thank you so much for being willing to chat with us today. First off, before we dive into your money journey, tell me a little bit about you professionally, what it is you do, and why in the world you started on a money journey to begin with.
I am working in critical care in a surgical ICU, and then I also work in dermatology 1 day a week. I've been a PA now for about 16 years, and I just hit the point where I was 39. I was about to turn 40, and I just had, I guess it was almost like a midlife crisis that I was like, I have to figure out money. I came to this realization that no one's going to do it for me. And I wanted to absolutely take control and know that I was going to be secure in my future and in my retirement on my own.
Love it. So, how many years have you been really focused on the money stuff?
I mean, really only since I joined your program, and that would have been officially since June 2023. I did always put the full amount into my employer retirement account every year, and that's kind of where I ended. I wasn't doing Roth, I wasn't doing individual brokerage or HSA or any of the other tools. I didn't know about them.
Since then, it's been almost 2 years. What have you achieved so far?
Well, it's been amazing. My net worth going into the program, which was basically about $538,000. And then as of February, my net worth is about $781,000. So that's a net worth increase of about $245,000 in 20 months, under 2 years. It is essentially about my salary all in with my 1099 jobs and my W-2. So I'm pretty proud of that. And that is all with also buying a house to be an Airbnb.
That's impressive. I mean, obviously, a real estate purchase from a real estate investing standpoint typically actually takes a little bit of a net worth decrease because you add a little bit of leverage there. And so, like that net worth gain, even while acquiring a short-term rental, huge.
Yeah.
So, were you first focused on stock bond investing, then transitioned to real estate? Was that the order that worked for you?
Yes. So I did, a solid year, if not more, where I did the zero-based budgeting. So with every dollar and literally every dollar that I did not spend on something, I just put it into my brokerage. So I may not have done, there's a minimum amount I wanted to hit every month, and I always sometimes it even doubled that. So I got really aggressive for the first year in the stock market and then felt comfortable with that, and then realized that I would like a cash flowing asset as part of the overall portfolio moving forward, so that I probably needed to back off of the stock investing a little bit to open up some money to invest into real estate.
Very cool. I think, obviously, I'm biased, but I think that that approach is the safest because I really adding risk, adding the leverage of investment real estate can sometimes be a little dicey if you're really early in the financial journey and you don't have a firm footing. But you did exactly that. Like you had your firm footing, you built your net worth well above $500,000 already before you even made that move, and now you get the benefits of the short-term rental tax loophole too, right?
Yes, I completed the cost segregation. I'm working with Brian Martin, tax team
Yeah.
that you suggested, and it's been great. So we filed an extension for my 2024 taxes. So I don't know how it's all exactly going to play out yet, but very eagerly looking forward to
Yeah.
reducing my tax bill.
Yep.
Being a California resident, taxes are tough.
There's only so many ways. Yeah. I don't blame you. Okay, I got to ask you this because I'm a mindset freak. And most of the time, for any medical professional to really shift from feeling like, money comes in, I spend it, I save a little bit, that's it, to being like a real investor, a real wealth builder does require some mindset shifts. Was there something that comes to mind for you that really had to click for you to start succeeding to the level that you have?
I think it was that notion that I just didn't want to ever have to rely on anyone else. I didn't want to have to rely on Social Security. I didn't want to have to rely on a partner, although I have an amazing partner and we share all of our bills. I just really wanted to know that I was always taken care of. I see my mom, especially, and struggle with, not really having enough for retirement and not really having had worked since she was a stay-at-home mom. And I just wanted to make sure that I was going to be safe for the future.
Yeah, it's funny how much of it, the motivation, I've been the same, can come from just this feeling of like, I need security. And
Yes.
it can be a huge motivator, honestly, to go way past even, you're way past security, right? But it can really drive you. So you've made a ton of strides, right? You've really massively succeeded in the last few years. What are your next goals? Like, what do you think you're going to be doing with money in the next couple of years moving forward?
Well, if the short-term rental goes well, I would like to do another real estate deal. I don't know if it would be maybe a multifamily or something else. I think as long as I'm in California and paying high taxes, the short-term tax loophole is really, it's very lucrative.
Okay.
So yeah, my biggest goal is like I would like to do another property as soon as I can.
Nice. I love it. I think personally, the more you go down the personal finance rabbit hole and you like learn what the options are, honestly, the more exciting it tends to get when you start thinking about all the different avenues you can use to create cash flow, to build wealth. It's exciting. To me, at least, it feels kind of like an adventure of options. And having that like really strong stock bond portfolio can just kind of be the base to which you operate from. And then you get to branch out and do a bunch of other fun stuff once you gain some knowledge. So let me ask you this. How long you don't have to give me some specifics in case your employer ever watches this, but like, do you plan to work full time until 65? Do you plan to retire early? What's your kind of big picture strategy?
I would love to go back to doing locums where I would just do a 3 month, 4 month, 6 month assignment. And then I think it would be really cool if I had the other time off to do more hands-on projects with fix and flips or just overseeing setups of Airbnbs and home renovations and things like that, because it would be a lot easier if I could just be on site and be doing everything myself and save a lot of money than hiring people to do it. So I think it would be really cool to shift early into locums. I don't know that I ever really want to give up medicine where you're out of it for, a few years and then you feel like you can't jump back into it. So I would like to always just keep my toe dipped in, not lose my skills. But I think being able to just flex and do locums for part of the year would be my goal.
I love that. And that's so beyond achievable for you, honestly, with what you've done. I mean, that's the dream, to be able to say, like, hey, I want to work, but in this capacity, and I decide the capacity, not my money decides the capacity. And so you could, like you said, work 3 or 6 months out of the year and have all sorts of free time to pursue other passion projects. Eventually, depending on how many clinical hours you work, you could even pull off real estate professional status if you meet the hour criteria. So that could be cool too.
That's true. I am interested in getting a real estate license as well. I just don't know what state to get it in, but it's definitely something that's on the back burner I'm thinking
I
about.
love it. This is so inspiring. Let me ask you this because you're a pretty seasoned PA. You've been at the game a while, and the whole money stuff at this point for you is old hat. If you were like talking to a brand new PA grad, 1 or 2 years into their clinical journey, what would you tell them to do with money?
I tell all the students I mentor about you and have them check you out on Instagram. And I just say, one of the most important things is to just have a roadmap from where you're starting. Have a plan for student loans. Have a plan for saving for retirement. A lot of people do think they need to pay off their student loans before they start saving. And just having that financial education where I was helping a resident at work who was contributing to her Roth 403B, but it was actually sitting in a money market fund.
Yes.
Wasn't
Yeah.
in the, a target date fund or S&P 500 or something like that. And I was like, oh no, she's the second year. She spent a whole year with her money just in a
No.
money market. So I think getting the financial education that you need and the confidence to manage your own money and not trust, put it in the hands of other people that are charging you 1% or something like that is the most important thing. And if you can do PA school and you can learn medicine, you can absolutely do this.
Oh, for sure. And I love that you're paying it forward. Like you, I mean, I don't know how old the second year resident was, but you just saved her so much money over the long term by catching that for her. So it's like, it's great. You're able to help your colleagues and your other friends succeed as well.
Yeah, everyone was logging into their accounts. They're like, have Bridget look at it. Have
Let me
Bridget look
check
at
mine.
it.
Oh, it's funny. And it's like those things end up costing you so much. But, if you don't know what you don't know, as we say all the time in medicine,
Exactly.
then these things happen. And so it is worth your time to learn a little bit about money. And obviously for you, it's totally changed your whole financial future. And I just have to say as well, because I already know this about you, you did it all while having like quite a bit of fun and traveling and doing some cool stuff. I think you really break the mold of the idea of like, if you're going to win with money, you can't have fun in life along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. We eloped in Italy last July. I mean, we saved a lot of money by doing that, but then we had a dinner with our family in Michigan in January. So between those two things, I mean, we spent a fraction of what you would spend on a wedding, and I took that extra money, and that was my down payment. So, there's give and take to everything, but you can absolutely travel and, still enjoy all the things while still working towards your financial goals.
I love it. Thank you so much for being able to share this with us, Bridget. I know you're like incredibly inspiring to people who want to do the exact same thing you did. So we really appreciate you being transparent and open and willing to share your story.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, if anyone wants to reach out, I'm happy to talk to anyone about my journey. All
Bye.
right, bye.